This is Leon, a student in my program AI Black Ops. You've probably seen the video with Leon where he went from 0 to 8K in 24 hours. Well, he didn't stop there. Leon's AI-powered lead generation business now pulls in 20K every single month at the age of just 18. So I decided to get Leon on a call, and we both decided to give away a ton of free sauce, everything from scaling your agency, business, life, scaling, and a whole lot more. And I'm gonna be honest with you, no one in the space has ever done anything like this. Pay attention, especially towards the end where Leon drops one of the most important nuggets I've ever heard. So with that said, let's get into it. All right, how we doing, boys? Do you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Yes, sir. Daniel, you go first, bro.
Alright, name's Daniel. Been in Danny's program, joined around June, and yeah.
What's your company name, Daniel?
Provena AI.
Oh, Leon, you want to introduce yourself?
What's up? My name is Leon. I'm from New Jersey. I happen to be from the same town that Danny's in, actually. I'm his first ever mentee, and we didn't meet in person. We met on Instagram somehow, or actually TikTok. I run Snipe Outbound, and we're doing, in between 10 and 20K a month at the moment.
Fire. Cool, boys. So, yeah, first two mentees, actually, I believe. I know Leon was the first. I think Daniel might have been the second or the third, but first two mentees, definitely two most successful inside the program, most dedicated, most driven, all of that good stuff. So do you guys want to just like break down like what you're currently doing for businesses, who you're serving, all that good stuff?
Daniel, go first,
You
bro.
go first.
All right, I'll go first. So we currently do cold email for acquisition. So it's like the full funnel. I'll give you a breakdown. We cold email them. We have a reply agent answer, send them a calendar link, or send them an invite. And then from there, once they book in, we have a bunch of automations to make sure they show up. Send them a pre-call asset, which is like a video breaking down what exactly we do, pre-handling objections and answering questions. And then after they watch that video, they hop on the call with me, and we close the deal.
That's right. That's right. Daniel?
For me, at the moment, we offer a few services. So like we've done some websites before, but we don't really go after them. If it's a referral, we'll take it. But we also do cold email mainly, like Leon says, same kind of style. And then also recently we added to our services. We have like 2 clients on, 2 to 3 on for it for LinkedIn outreach. So we do offer those like 3 services. So yeah, it's gone well.
Hell yeah. So basically we all do lead generation here. It's actually pretty cool. I was telling you guys this. We just finished building up like a new like backdoor LinkedIn system that's going to basically do what we all do for cold email, but personalize LinkedIn messages at scale without getting detected or anything like that. So that's super cool. We're testing it right now, hoping to release it. But like that is bringing us like an extra 15 to 30 calls per month on calendar as well. Listen, if you're watching this and you want to start or scale your agency and you don't know how or what to sell, that's exactly what I helped Leon with. I gave him the exact system, and within 24 hours of launch, he made $8,000. And here's the thing, Leon is not special. He just put in the work. So if you don't want to be stuck in the same place again for another year, click the link in the description, apply. We'll see if you're a good fit. And if you are, I'll see you on the inside. Now let's get back to the podcast. So super cool.
Is that like a software, or is it like a workflow?
It's a Russian software.
A Russian software.
It's a Russian software because obviously LinkedIn, we all know, is super good anti-botting. Daniel knows all about that, right? Daniel, you want to tell everybody what happened to you, because I told you to only scrape a certain amount per day.
I got banned on that. Pain in the ass.
How long did it take you to get unbanned?
I didn't even get unbanned yet.
Still banned. So yeah, LinkedIn's a pain in the ass, and they have so many users that you literally like can't even contact support. Like it's like literally a mission. Especially like if you get restricted or whatever, you gotta go through like X. They have like X support. Like that's the way you get through. But yeah, this software, they basically made a way around it, but it's like kind of weird to set up, kind of annoying. But me and Leon were just talking about this, how like there's such a diluted idea on social media of like how many booked calls per day or per month is good, because you'll see ads of guys just completely capping, saying I book 15 calls a day. Like no, you don't. You're only booking 15 calls a day if you're spending 5 G's on ads a day. So me and Leon were kind of just talking about before you hopped in here, Daniel, how like even just like 15 to 30 calls per month is like a great addition for any B2B business. Like
I don't think I told you this. My client, I booked him 50 calls in 4 weeks. But the thing is, they weren't all qualified, so I'm still stuck hitting my guarantee. I'm 5 calls away. So It is what it is. But
You got 3 months to do that, right?
bro, I'm gonna hit that in the next week. 5 calls.
Yeah,
It's not that.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 calls in 4 weeks through cold email. That's fucking awesome. And it's funny because I'm sure a lot of people watching this, they don't understand that actually cold email works. They're just used to seeing traditional cold email. But that shows the power. How many emails are you guys sending a day?
Crazy. We're only sending like 3,000.
3,000 a day, and you hit 50 calls in 4 weeks, which is a month, which is really,
Yeah.
really good. What's their ticket size too?
It's month to month subscription. The ACV is 12K. I didn't ask him what the LTV is, and I'm sure it's more than 12K. But if I did the math correctly, I generated them over $1 million in pipeline, not including booked calls, like all just interested replies. I don't know.
Insane.
Would you consider booked calls pipeline, or interested replies are also considered pipeline?
I mean, I would just consider booked calls. Reason being, because not all interested replies will book in. So it's like booking to call ratio is like actually worrying about how many people. All I worry about is how many people book in. Like I can get all the interested replies in the world, but if those guys aren't booking in, like as you guys know, like let's say 20 guys reply interested, like three to five of them might never book in. Obviously, we have like mechanisms to like make sure that like, we do everything in our power. Like obviously, we'll follow up if they don't book in. Then maybe we'll go to LinkedIn, hit them up on LinkedIn. Then maybe we'll straight up just find their number and call them. Like there's obviously things we can do in order to get them to book in. But of course, not every single person that replies interested will book in. But that's also why we have the reply bot that you were talking about earlier. So for those of you who don't know, if you don't reply within 60 seconds, your chance of booking someone drops 21x. So we get speed to lead, book immediately with a reply bot. That drastically reduces the amount of people that actually like reply interested and don't book in. But yeah, so how many you had 50 actually book in? How many interested replies did you guys get from that?
Bro, fuck ton. Like, I think over 130.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
insane. I mean, dude, like
insane.
guys don't even get that from like 5Gs on paid ads in a month. Like,
I know. It's insane, bro. And also, the main thing I've been messing around with is subsequences. I don't know if you've ever used those before and instantly.
yeah.
Yeah, so those have been getting a lot of interested replies converted into booked calls. They work very well. And also, one thing I've been doing for myself, I don't know if you use this at all, but Seamless AI, whenever someone like replies that's interested, like a SaaS customer, I
Mhm.
just search for their, number on Seamless, call them right away, and that probably gets me more booked calls than anything.
Yeah, I
That's
remember we were talking about like the top like lead databases like Seamless, Cognism, Lucia. Obviously, Apollo has one, Instantly has one. LinkedIn is one that most guys don't even really utilize because they're not sure how to scrape on it. And also, a lot of guys get themselves banned because they don't know the actual like parameters of what you should be scraping. But Seamless is pretty OP. It's a
Yeah.
great.
Also, Appify. Appify is really good. I've been
Apple's
using
good
it
too. I
more.
forgot about that. Yeah, Apple's a great scraper. Yeah.
And the
I,
good thing about Applefy now, just jump in for a minute. For Applefy, we've started messing around with it. It's really useful using Claude Cowork a lot and using Claude Code. So Claude Cowork, we have found that mad because it can go in like LinkedIn. You give it the SOPs, you give it your lists, and it like the messaging templates. It does it to another level. And if you're
you
on
guys have both been telling me about Claude Cowork. You guys have both
Insane,
been
bro.
utilizing that a lot, right?
Yeah, bro, I get rate limited at least twice a day. I gotta up my plan to Claude Max 20x from 5x right now. Legit, I get rate limited
A
at
month
least twice.
for
What?
Claude. What do you pay?
It's a
Which
hundred.
that's what I'm on right now. But I should
Yeah.
probably up. But I haven't utilized Claude Cowork a lot, which is funny because I'm theoretically an AI guy, but like everything has been mostly automated. So you guys are using that for LinkedIn, correct? Like just to do LinkedIn outbound?
yeah.
So I don't do it anymore for LinkedIn outbound. I found it just got messy because I don't know, there's just so many things there. But I do use it for like buying domains and then assigning them to email accounts. And basically, whenever there's a monotonous task that has repetitive actions that I know how to complete, right? It's easy, it's just going to take a lot of time. I give Claude Cowork a prompt and it does that all for me while I'm doing whatever other work that I need to do that, can't be done with Claude Cowork, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And Daniel, what are you guys using it for on your guys' end?
We use it for LinkedIn. We're kind of playing around with it now, so we're gaining a good idea for it. So we're just seeing how powerful it is, and then once we see the really big success of it, we're getting Hermes agents. So when I get back, I'm gonna buy a new PC. I have it on this at the moment on a VPS, so I'm testing around with that for using it, creating
Well,
stuff.
I've heard for Maze Agent. What's that?
It's like Open Club on a higher level. It's
Oh, I
very
did see someone talking about that actually on Instagram. I'm not sure. You know what's funny? I remember I telling you guys I literally ran and bought a Mac Mini and I haven't set up anything on it.
That's crazy shiny object syndrome.
I know, bro. I know. I just never got around to it. Like I was really busy that week, I remember, and I just like never got around to it. Then I left, went to Cali. Now I'm in Utah, so I definitely got to hop on that for sure.
Wait,
I'm
where are you
actually
going after Utah?
I'm
Is that
going
where you're
back.
from?
I'm going back to New Jersey, but like I was telling you, I think I want to move here. It's just great. It's a great place.
Really? Not Montana anymore?
No, no, no. I love Montana, but that was always like I want to have a summer house there. You like Montana? I like a 21-year-old kid. Like it's there's no one really your age. Like of course there are always gonna be people your age, but like I want to have access to a large population of people my age, which just Montana's not very densely populated at all.
Hmm.
Utah's like that fine ground where like if you want mountains, it's the best place. Besides, I mean, like Cali has mountains, but like you know, I don't know. I'm not. There's a lot of things wrong with Cali in terms of how much I'm going to pay in taxes and all that good stuff. But as I was saying, people here are great. The food quality is great. Do you guys know Redmond salt? I know Leon's got to know
Yeah.
Redmond's. He uses
No.
Relight. That's from Redmond's. You use Relight, right, Leon?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You got me
That's
on
from
that.
Redmond's. They have a farm store here where they sell raw milk, raw chocolate milk. They have like a
Yeah, you
actual
posted it.
they have a cafe. I've been going every single day. They give me like grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef, pasture-raised eggs that are soy-free, raw cheese, and like potatoes fried in beef tallow. Like that's the kind of stuff they produce at the cafe, fresh. So I'll get food there. Then they have like a little cafe with like every like amazing health food you can imagine. Like that's like no BS, no fillers, no nothing. So it's like, dude, like you can't find that in most other places. So that's really cool. What I like about here, mountains are amazing, the water's amazing, nature's amazing, the people are super friendly. I mean, me and Leon grew up on the East Coast, but Daniel's from Ireland. The East Coast, people are just nasty as hell. Like they're always in a bad mood. Like here, you just walk, everyone says hi to you, everyone starts talking to you. Just
Nice
like
weather.
nice weather, good vibe. It only gets like 45, 50 in the winter. And then like even here, it's like 60 degrees. The sun's so strong because the altitude, it feels like 75.
Bro, I feel like
So
another person when the sun. It's crazy. Like
yeah,
legit.
here, dude, here I feel so different. I feel like I'm operating on a different level in comparison to New Jersey. Listen, I can't prove this, but I truly believe they're doing like some type of experiment on the East Coast, particularly like New Jersey, New York. Like Leon, you can attest to this, bro. When we had 2 feet of snow, the night before, the sky was literally tic-tac-toed with chemtrails. I don't know if you
bro,
remember. It was
I don't
insane.
know what's going on in Jersey. The weather's 70 degrees one day. The next day it's like 20. Like
And the
it's
day
not
after it was
normal.
90, right? My
Bro,
family was
it's insane.
Don't get
crazy.
By the way,
that's it's worse in Ireland. Don't stress.
yeah, it
Yeah.
changes back and forth.
Oh, it's so bad there. Like for 1 hour of the day, it's going to be very sunny. Next hour, it is raining. It's the weather's like shit.
I
Here, I
know.
have to hop off now. Just looking at the time now.
Yep, no worries. Thanks for stopping in, Daniel.
See you, Daniel.
No problem.
Catch you later, brother.
I'll speak to you.
Yep.
Bro, I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you. You saw Lifetime Residences?
No, what's that?
Lifetime's opening up their own apartments. It's connected to their gym and everything. It's insane. You should check it out.
He is
Like,
connected to the gym, the one in New Jersey.
no, no, no. I think they're building a bunch of them across America, but I don't think they're building one in New Jersey. But it's insane, bro. It's like it's like a hotel with Lifetime, but it's an apartment. It's you got to check it out. It's crazy.
That's pretty cool, bro. Lifetime does some cool stuff. The thing about Utah is they only have one. So if I do live somewhere, like I'd prefer to live on the outskirts. I wouldn't want to live in Salt Lake City, but I'd want to be like 20, 30 minutes away from Salt Lake in the mountains where it's like quiet and I can just be at peace. But the problem is there's only one lifetime, which like a lifetime for me at this point in my life is like mandatory. I just absolutely love it so much. It's a good place to socialize, get food, work out, sauna, steam, everything. Meet people, like especially if we're moving somewhere new. So I have to like balance between trying to find somewhere close and trying to be in the mountains.
So you're next to a Lifetime right now?
I'm about 20 minutes away, and like I'm pretty much on the outskirts. I'm in an area called Cottonwood Heights right now. Like I'm like a 2 minute walk to the mountains, but like not really the mountains, but I'm like a 3 minute drive from the canyon that goes into the mountains. Like I posted on my story yesterday, like a water, like a little
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Listen, if you're watching this and you want to start or scale your agency and you don't know how or what to sell, that's exactly what I helped Leon with. I gave him the exact system, and within 24 hours of launch, he made $8,000. And here's the thing, Leon is not special, he just put in the work. So if you don't want to be stuck in the same place again for another year, click the link in the description, apply, we'll see if you're a good fit, and if you are, I'll see you on the inside. Now let's get back to the podcast. That was like a 10-minute drive and like a 10-minute walk up to that, which is awesome because there's nowhere in New Jersey where you can drive 10 minutes and walk 10 minutes and be anywhere remotely close like that. And
Yeah, bro, that's sick.
So Utah's super cool. Like if anyone's watching is like in the US and like you're looking for a place like exactly like I just described, Utah is the spot. 3 million people in Utah. I think like 1.5 are in Salt Lake. So like you have access to a good bit of people. You have access to a city. The city's super clean here. Yeah, just a great place, bro. Honestly, great
Question:
place.
You're in Europe. You could go anywhere for the summer. What country are you picking?
I could just go to one country.
One country.
Oof, that's a really hard one. That's super hard. I don't even know, to be honest. I'll tell you where I've been. I've been to Slovakia, been to Poland. I flew through Germany, so that doesn't really count. Like I landed there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to Greece. Where else have I been? I've been to Iceland too. Iceland's super peak. Like if I could just stay in one place, like
Iceland, really?
I love the nature. Iceland, I think it's the most beautiful country in the world. It's voted.
You
Like
never hit Switzerland?
no, Switzerland's super dope. I would definitely check it out. But like, you got to factor in like if I'm gonna be there for a while, I don't know. There's a lot that goes into that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a super hard question because like I
Where are
would
you
want
thinking about going this summer?
this summer. I want to hit multiple places. Definitely probably head back to Slovakia, just because it's peak. I want to hit Poland. Definitely want to hit Croatia because like I have part of my ancestry from part Croatian, so I definitely want to hit Croatia. Um, just kind of see where it goes, dude. Like, the good thing about Europe is once you're there, every flight inside the European Union is like less than $60. So
You're saying,
the expensive part is getting to Europe. Once you're there, a flight to any country is like $60, no matter how far it is.
hey, so Daniel's got it easy. Daniel could
Yeah,
travel
that's so easy.
anywhere.
Yo, he went to Croatia for like $59, he told me, like from Ireland, which is like
Bro,
not a
that's
close flight.
insane.
Over here, when I'm flying back to New Jersey, now keep in mind, I'm booking my flight today and I'm flying back tomorrow because I'm last minute as hell. That's going to cost me $400.
When are you leaving New Jersey? I remember you told me your lease is up. You're moving out of New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Like, I definitely would like to find something here, but there's a lot of intricacies. Like, I have a big ass dog. Like, I gotta find somewhere that takes him. He's a Rottweiler as well. So, not many places are friendly with him. So, it'd have to be like a literal house. But then, like, I like my shit a little bougie. I can't live in like a house made out of like panels, like, what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about? Panel houses. Inside needs to be nice. I want to be in the mountains. I have a lot of like little things I want. So it might take a second to find. So I got to figure that out for sure. I got to figure it out for sure. Dude, I'm just much more productive, I realize, when I'm out in like these types of areas where I have access to nature, good food, all that good stuff. Dude, it's weird. Like the food tastes different here.
What do
Um,
you mean?
like the meat's darker and tastes better. Obviously, if you go to the grocery store and you get some shit meat, but like I've been going to Redmond's, their meat's literally so dark red. It's like so different. Like I don't know.
They
I
feed
think
them grass? Is
they
that
feed it
why?
way better. Yeah, it's definitely way higher quality. Their eggs taste different, but they're also soy free, so there's no BS in them. But way better out here. I'm interested though. Go tell me a little bit more about what you're doing with like the co-work because I thought you were doing LinkedIn as well, but it turns out you're not.
So I don't use Cowork that much anymore because I discovered that Claude Code was just a better option for what I was doing.
Mm.
Because Claude Code could basically run and create files on your laptop. What I mean by that is like, for example, the N8N workflow that we use to process all of our leads to personalize the lines and do all the research on the prospects, qualify them, etc. I
Yep.
turned that into Python code, and I did the math. It's 16x the speed of my workflow. So now, instead of waiting for 2 hours to process 4,000 leads, it takes me 7 minutes, which is insane. So like,
So you switch
saves
from
me a bunch of
NAM
time.
to Python code for your email system.
Exactly. It's insane,
Right.
bro.
And where do you run that through the Python code?
So I run it in my terminal, so it's local. So it's in,
Your Claude
bro.
Code terminal.
Yeah. No,
Where-
just a regular terminal on my computer.
Oh, okay. So you basically built it into your computer using Claude.
Bro, I don't even know how it works, bro. Claude does it all for me. It's great.
It's funny because I was just teaching two guys in particular. I actually gave the same concept to, and I'm gonna leak it here for free, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna get crazy value from this. One guy is a backend guy. One guy's a sales manager. They both hit me up. They're like, "Hey, how do I integrate sales AI into this?" I'm like, "Well, here's the best idea. You just simply like take like the problem is when you're managing sales teams is some of the closers, setters just suck absolute you know what at doing their admin task like EOCs, end of calls, EODs, end of days, and that's what your tracking is built off of because your EOC will say if the deal was closed, if the deal was won, how much, all of that. If there was a show, no show, then that goes into the tracking. So you start automating that. So essentially, you have them on a Fathom team plan. then that Fathom team plan, you pull the transcript, and the Claude API will read the transcript and automatically do their admin for them. And it'll say, okay, the deal was won, $5,000, 2,000 next month, closer name, setter name, blah, blah, blah. And it instantly does their admin for them, so it removes human bias. But then on top of that, you can also start adding to that, like when the Claude pulls it with the API key, you can also add like a super strict like SOP with like grading sales calls. So as a sales manager, it also saves you a drastic amount of time because it'll say, okay, the discovery was a 3 out of 10. The pitching was a 9 out of 10. The objection handling was a 10 out of 10. This way, you don't have to go through an hour call for multiple closers every single day. It drastically cuts the time in half. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because one of them knew how to build it. He's a backend guy. He knows his shit. The other one, so he's just a sales manager. He's like just one of my friends. And I was like, bro, he's like, how do I build this though? I'm like, simple. Literally just take my transcripts, tell Claude, hey, I'm trying to build this. Here's a transcript from my friend. Build it for me. And he comes back 3 hours later. He's like, yeah, Claude just built it for me. It's done. I was like, the only thing is you got to be careful because a lot of guys, like he's a sales manager, he's not familiar with AI. You have to prompt it very cleanly and very strictly if you wanted to actually grade the calls properly. It's funny. One of the backend guys was like LARPing it on his Instagram. I'm like, bro, don't forget who put you onto this shit.
Bro,
He's
this
like,
is a crazy SaaS idea.
oh yeah, he's like call grader built in 3 hours. I'm like, bro, I put you onto that shit. Don't be LARPing on that. I got to give credit where credit's due. I got the idea from a guy in my program. He's an operator named Clark. He gets coached by Pierre, which is Brez's operator. He was the one that first ran the idea by me because he's doing it for people, and he was like, we hopped on a call to like see if there was a fit for him to come in and do some of our back end operations, and he ran that idea by us. I don't know, maybe he'd be mad if I was leaking that, but I think everyone knows about it kind of now at this point. But there's so many things you could be doing now. Again, like that saves a sales manager so much time, especially like dudes that are operating offers doing multiple millions of dollars per month. You have 15 closers, dude. Like you're going to need multiple sales managers. But if you get a really, really good call grader, then you don't need to do that because you can just like take 5 minutes a call and understand what went wrong, where it went wrong, all that good jazz. Now, that's where I'm kind of focusing on. So like I've been focusing like the past month on completely different stuff. This next month I'm going super hard into like process automations like that. And I'm going to do that number one for my own business because like I'm kind of at the stage now where like I've automated everything. Like I don't know if I've even like told you this, but our dashboard is so insanely automated to the point where like a client logs in, there's no longer an onboarding call. We literally get them on the call we get them into the dashboard. There's an onboarding form that's super in depth. They fill it out, it saves it, right? Now, when I go to write their copy, my dashboard has all my copy SOPs with great examples that converted, all that for their industries too. I'll go to my custom AI assistant that only the admins can see, and I was like, take their onboarding form, take my SOPs, find one that matches their industry, write me copy that converts for them. And then that's it. I'm no longer writing copy. And then guess what? Every time a campaign's over, I say run. I have instantly webhook and API keyed into my dashboard. I'm like, find me bottlenecks with this campaign. Find me bottlenecks in like their stats, like AOV, LTV, close rate, book rate, show rate, all of that. And then I literally just have like my AI assistant do everything for me inside of the dashboard because it has all the information aggregated. It literally has like their payment processor, their CRM, everything. It drags everything into our one dashboard. And basically everything is automated. Like I don't even need to go in and look anymore and see what went wrong. I'll get a full
Do you have a
report.
backend guy like manage this system, or is it you?
Yeah, he manages it, but I built a lot of it. Like
So how do you trust someone with like I could not imagine trusting someone with this because number one, they either take it and run with it and start their own agency because why not unless they're shit at sales and they're like a
what are they
backend guy.
what are they gonna take though?
I'm just saying they have the knowledge to write copy, make campaigns that perform. They understand how the dashboard works. They could code it with Claude Code. Like where do you find these people that are number
Well,
one, like
good
able to
question.
do this and not number two, like able to stay with you, you know?
Good question. So number one is I was just talking to Jake about this yesterday. Jake's here in Utah with me. He's not the same Airbnb though. But number one, you will have guys who will leave you and start their own thing. If you get an A-type guy, it's gonna happen. But in order to prevent that, you don't teach them everything. You just teach them one skill. Like he's just my closer. He's just my backend guy. He's just my ops guy. Like whatever. They don't learn the whole process. They don't have the full process. They can't do it. The email system's still not in the dashboard. It's on the He doesn't have access to the email system. He doesn't know what goes on with that. He doesn't know how it works, how it's built. Sure, could he just take our SOPs? Yeah, but I mean, like anytime you onboard someone, you have to give them SOPs. So
Yeah.
like Sure, take my SOPs. What you don't have the skills I have. You don't have the knowledge I have. Like
Where
he
do you
doesn't.
find them anyways, though? Like
Well,
where
like
do you get these guys?
well,
These back end guys.
I have a huge network of guys, and like especially now that I'm posting. Like, dude, if I ever wanted any position, I just put out a post. But like, I'm also connected with a lot of agency owners that like you don't see, like they don't post. They're on social media, and like I could just hit them up at will and just get basically anything I need. Like, if someone came to me and they wanted to pay me 30K for a custom solution, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to hit one of them up. I'm going to be like, I'm going to. Obviously, I don't do that. I'll tell them I do it, and then I'll get one of the guys who I know can deliver this to the T, and I'll just give him 30% and he'll do it for me. And then I keep 70%. Obviously give 10% to closer, 5% to setter, but I don't touch anything and I just get 50%, you know?
Do you mainly sell cold email now, or do you sell
Yeah,
other?
we basically just only do AI powered lead generation now. And like that's why we're going omni-channel. We built that LinkedIn system. So now for our clients, like we're gonna add much more value when we're booking 30 from cold email a month, 15 to 30 from LinkedIn a month. Then we're gonna start layering in paid ads. So we're gonna be full stack lead gen. Now, however, we're not gonna get our foot in the door being full stack. We're gonna get our foot in the door with the email system as we always have. And then we're gonna start layering these on top as upsells.
Do you ever plan going the enterprise route or no?
Not currently. I think that's good when you hit a ceiling. I hear Cole Gordon talk about this a lot. Like it's good when you hit a ceiling, I believe.
What do you mean when you're like you can't grow anymore? You're like I'm stuck at 100K a month.
No, I think a lot of guys have this misconception on social media. You hear like a lot of bullshit guys talking about, well, if you're at an agency and you're doing 200K a month, if you go to 400K a month, you're actually going to make less because of profit margins, all this bullshit. But that's not true anymore because AI exists. So there's really no ceiling. But like what I mean by that is like, I don't know, let's say you get stuck at 1 mil a month, 2 mil a month. Like for example, Cole Gordon has openly talked about this. I'm a huge fan of him. Really good stuff. Really like his stuff. Learned a fuck ton from him. He was, I think they were stuck at like, I don't want to give the number because that's going to be wrong, but it was like, maybe it was like 3 mil a month or something like that. And I remember he paid Alex Ramosi for a call and like he paid like someone else, maybe it was like Tony Robbins. I don't want to, don't quote me. And like I think it was Tony Robbins told him straight up, like, how are you telling me there's nowhere else for you to grow when there's billion-dollar recruiting companies? And that's exactly what you are. They recruit sales
Oh
talent.
yeah. I actually saw this video.
Yeah, but then also Alex Hormozy just told him like this. Literally, I think he told him just do more of what you're doing, like just double down. So I don't really think there's a cap with that. However, I do think I do think like in the future it becomes much more valuable because like the way we're trying to take it is we're not trying to be like that agency that has 1,000 clients like paying 3K a month. Like I just saw there's an agency doing a mil a month and their ticket price is 2K. So the amount of fucking clients they have has to be like insane. I rather have 15 clients that I take rev share that each make me 20, 40, 50K a month.
That's what I just changed over to doing. Yeah, I
It's much,
started taking rev
much
share.
better. It's like what operators do. Growth operators, growth marketers, whatever, they just take rev share and they just work with 5 clients. They take 10%, get them all to 100K month plus. You get 10 clients to 100K, you're taking 10%, you're making 100K, right?
Jeremy Haynes is big on this, right?
He's huge on rev share. And the good thing about rev share is it's very low friction most of the time. However, I don't really know how well enterprise grade companies will go over with like rev share because I've never tested it, to be frank. However, like low to mid, like mid market, they're very open to it actually. They prefer success based. And I always tell the guys like start out with retainer based just because like it's human nature. Like guys like are gonna fuck up. It's just because like people just don't listen. Like it's just how it works, right? So with that being said, like then once you like actually get proof of concept down, like you're actually getting results, then you move over to rev share because you know you can get results, you're gonna make money, you're not gonna be in the hole. Or vice versa. I just tell them, hey, just take a big setup fee that's gonna cover you for the 3 months, so you're never in the red, and then just take success based.
Yeah, what I was thinking is, do you think it would be effective to, let's say, anchor your price higher? So let's say I go to this guy, I'm about to pitch him. I say, well, we have 2 options, 2 plans. Either we could do 5K a month for 10% rev share, or, right, if you don't feel comfortable paying me 10% rev share, because I'm telling you we're going to get you this amount of calls, it's going to generate this amount of revenue, you could just pay me 50K a month and, whatever.
Well, I
You
think
get what I'm
that's
saying?
I think that sounds 50K a month. It would
Whatever,
sound.
something, yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I'm just throwing out a
I
number.
understand. I understand what you're saying. I'm kind of a fan, and like this, like people have differing opinions. Like some people will say it's great. I'm kind of a fan of just price dropping one option because at the end of the day, you're the expert, and like like what's going to get them results. So you should be confident in whatever you're dropping. But like there are like of course you ask a million different people, you're getting a million different answers. But I don't think that's going to make or break a deal.
Okay.
I'm a
So
fan of
yeah, no.
price and being like, this is how we work. Like, cause like guys always ask me on the coaching calls, like, do you negotiate price? I'm like, no, like it's either like take it or leave it. Now, like if they want to, but logistically they can't make it work, we'll break it up for them, sure. But it's not like, hey, I'm gonna do 3K instead of 5K. Like, no, that's not how we work. Not how we work.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
again, but there also comes like a stage where it's like in the beginning, sure, like maybe you can like if that's what's gonna make or break the deal, just fucking take it because it's about getting money in the beginning. But for us, we have too many options now to just like decide to work with clients where it's like, you know, we don't need to work with them. And like at the stage, we're not even running massive outbound for ourselves. It's like we just want a lean portfolio of like killers, like guys who actually want to scale, have the capability to do so. Basically, just like an investment for us, like who's worth us investing in, because we know we can get them the results, right? And we're
Mm-hmm.
focusing on filling the fuck out of their calendars, not ours, and we're just looking to keep our stuff lean. I also think it's just more valuable because you keep your profit margins significantly higher, and like in the business we're in, like I mean, you know this. It's super easy to help dudes scale. Like as long as they have the systems to do so. Listen, if you're watching this and you want to start or scale your agency and you don't know how or what to sell, that's exactly what I helped Leon with. I gave him the exact system, and within 24 hours of launch, he made $8,000. And here's the thing, Leon is not special, he just put in the work. So if you don't want to be stuck in the same place again for another year, click the link in the description, apply, we'll see if you're a good fit, and if you are, I'll see you on the inside. Now let's get back to the podcast. And the good part is, it's funny, because I feel like all roads lead to becoming a full stack agency or operator. Because like then once they scale, if they run into a system problem where they don't have the systems to maintain it, you can upsell the systems. Then
Yeah.
you start to literally become full stack. You become a growth operator at that point. It's kind of funny, but like all roads truly lead to that, in my opinion. Like for us, like our goal has always been get our foot in the door with the lead gen and just upsell other stuff. Okay, well now your sales team's growing. You've never hired before. You've never got guys up to KPI before. You've never trained or managed guys before. Oh, we do that. Now we can upsell that to you. Or it's like, okay, well here we actually are doing LinkedIn ads now or LinkedIn now. I'm looking into LinkedIn ads. I heard they're ripping right now.
I
And
saw that the cost per lead was very high on that. I don't know.
is it? I haven't looked into it yet, but I heard they're ripping right now, and I've heard some good stuff. We have a guy right now who's working on a webinar for us, but he does like B2B webinars. Um, and like my operator is friends with him, and he was kind of letting me know, like, yeah, like, he used to do them, and I think they perform well for him. I think it also depends on like what you're like actually optimizing the campaign for. Now I'm not big on ads. Like I've never like really like touched ads much. I'm trying to get into it just so I can become full stack. I still think that like cold email is the best acquisition channel. It's the lowest CAC. Like dude, like for how much you spend for that client to book 50 calls and get 150 interested responses, like no acquisition channel would do that for the price.
Insane.
Like the how cheap you literally it costs you to run that. It's still the undisputed king when ran correctly. And I think LinkedIn's second because LinkedIn's just fucking free. You just have to you can buy multiple accounts if you want to up the volume. And then I think like paid ads is honestly the worst right now. It's so funny because like so many guys glaze paid ads, but then they're all the same ones saying, yeah, cost per booked call is too expensive right now on a call funnel. And it's like, dude, just like fuck off. Like just admit that they're not as good. It's only good for B2C because like you can't personalize cold email to B2C. LinkedIn, there's no B2C guys really. I mean, there are B2C guys on there, but you're sure paid ads is the king of like B2C or like direct to consumer, but like that's really it.
I don't
Um,
know if you saw my LinkedIn post, but you saw the personalized cold email based on the face. I told you about it, right?
you did tell me about it, yeah, but what happened?
That campaign ripped. That was my best campaign of all time, and I'll tell you why. It's because number one, my deliverability was horrible, and I still booked I think 5 calls from that campaign, which is
Nice.
insane for having
What was your
horrible
reply rate?
deliverability. Very low. That's why I'm saying it was insane. I
Yeah,
booked. The thing is you could tell your cold email deliverability is low based on the reply rate. I was having
yep,
an extremely low reply rate, but I was getting a good amount of booked calls. So that leads me to think that imagine when I have a good reply rate, good deliverability, I'm gonna be booking like a fuck ton of calls. I don't know if I
yeah.
could curse on it,
No,
but
you're good. You're good. I think we can curse on YouTube. I always do it. But yeah, I always say like if your reply rate is like anywhere on like if it's in like under the 1% or like even under 1.5, you have a deliverability issue.
mm,
Now of course if you're just sending generic email blasts, whatever. But you're gonna get that anyway. But like with personalized cold email, like you should know like you should be hitting at least 4%, which is like pretty damn good. Like anything above 5% is exceptional, which I know you and Daniel have hit many times. I've seen it.
mm-hmm.
We've hit upwards of 10% before, 12%. obviously like you could hit above 12%, but it's just like at that point it's a curated like lead list of like 200 guys
Yeah.
who you know fit your ICP to a T. Like if you see anyone getting over 12% on like a 2,000 plus email list, like it's probably naturally curated list. Like maybe they went into Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, which are really good strategies. They're just very time consuming. However, now with AI, I'm sure you can like, by the way, if anyone wants to do this, you'll fucking rip. If you just find a system to go scrape LinkedIn and Facebook groups that are like having trouble with what you sell, like outreach in a certain industry, like let's say agencies, then you have it like get all their information, get their name, get their information from like Seamless, Lucia, Cognism, whatever. Then just curate a natural list of like 250 people like that are currently having that problem that week, and you hit them that week while they're having that problem. Like GG's, you're gonna clean up. Which now
Have
that
you
I
done this before?
no, but now that I mention it, I probably should. Like
Shouldn't
now,
have leaked the sauce.
yeah, it's all right though. No one has the email system, nor do they have the capacity to build it. So yeah, dude. Now that I mention that, I probably should do that. That would be
That
pretty
would be
fun.
insane. And
That
you
would
know
be
what I've noticed? Basically, I'm emailing B2B SaaS guys. B2B SaaS guys get 20 cold emails a day, and they know what AI personalization is already.
mm,
So instead of just doing generic AI personalization, like say, hey, I saw you guys just got a Series B, figured I'd reach out, see if this was of interest, whatever. I've been basically using a pattern interrupt, and that's what I think. That's how I came up with the, personalization based on the face. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna open your email. They see the AI personalization. They read it. They're like, this guy's soliciting. This guy's probably gonna sell me some demos or whatever SEO, whatever it is. I'm not even gonna read the rest of the email. So with this pattern interrupt, it says, hey, I only work with good-looking. By the way, I filtered out women just to make sure it didn't sound weird. But hey, I
yeah.
only work with good-looking SaaS, and then it says their positions. So like CMO, CEO, CRO. Uh,
That was a good call.
Brett,
You could have gotten some serious legal trouble.
no, dude, the reason I did a test with 200 people and I got one reply from a woman. She was like, "This is extremely unprofessional." I'm like, "Shit, I should
Yeah.
have filtered them out all beforehand." So ended up doing that. A couple leaked through somehow, but it's all good. It told one of them she had a nice clean shave. I was like,
Oh
"Yo,
my
this is horrible." She's like, "Clean shave? Excuse me? No, take
god.
me off your list."
That's
So
fun.
yeah. So I mean, I implemented this crazy pattern interrupt, and that's why I think it did so well. Because everyone's getting cold emails nowadays. That's also why AI personalization works so well.
100%. It makes you stand out, but also like I mentioned this to you, we just completely revamped the email system to make it like significantly more advanced. I was just like, fuck it, let's see how crazy we can make this. And I spent a week personally like just like in the trenches on this. I tripled the workflow on each scenario. So obviously there's two scenarios. I tripled the
Hmm.
workflow, and now I built Clay better than Clay for free.
Ah,
For free. So we have like 6 series of like waterfall enrichment. So like it pulls the most insane underground stuff about these people that like you literally couldn't even find if you searched on your own. I'll tell you what we're using to do it, but I won't leak it on here. It's a
yeah.
certain model that's super fucking OP. I'll text you it right now. Um, and dude, the results are insane.
Bro, what AI model is doing this? Is it like an API? Is it?
I sent it to you. It is an API.
Oh, I do that. It's very expensive though, no?
It's very expensive, but I mean, dude, what's the ROI? If I'm
Yeah.
getting 20 booked calls now from each campaign, what for a 2,500 person list, and we're closing 40% of those, the ROI is well worth it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Well worth it. Dude, so like it's super open, and that's just one of the six. Keep in mind. So what it does is it aggregates it all together, and it runs it through a test, which literally will say, all right, does this pass the quality for an icebreaker? And it's like a very strict quality. And
Hmm.
if not, it reruns it until it passes and gets like an insane fucking icebreaker with an insane personalized subject line. And then like even like gonna like personalize the actual body as well with it and tie it
Bro,
in.
what does it dig up on them?
Dude, everything. Literally everything.
Like
Anything
what?
about
Like their son's birthday party?
anything about you on the internet is getting dug up.
That's
Um,
crazy.
it's awesome, and like I genuinely believe like now I can confidently say I believe it's the most advanced personalization system on the fucking planet. I'm actually releasing it in the program in like probably like by the end of April, before the end of April. But obviously we're testing it on our own first before we start releasing it and get people in trouble if there's something wrong. But it's going good so far. So with that being said, I'm fucking super excited about that. That also ties into another point. I don't know who I was talking to this about, but Oh, I was talking about how like how much more skill you have to have. Like I've been harping on this on like my Instagram recently because it's been really pissing me off. I've been seeing a lot of sales coaches thinking they can close B2B when they're B2C coaches, and they're just teaching like the most obscene BS on social media because they think they can close B2C when they never have. And
Hmm.
then also we were talking about how like the someone was telling me like, yeah, the close rates are so much lower on cold traffic for B2B. I'm like, yeah, if you suck at sales.
Also, if the sales process is fucked, like you saw me, bro. Like, remember I was having trouble in the beginning. We implemented basically, you know, the pre-call asset and the
Yep.
automations and all of that, and then the triage. Like you've been telling me, and I just wasn't listening. I started doing it, and then, bro, my close rate went through the roof from there.
Yeah, so
Like,
dude, it's funny. I talk about this, but I always funnel hack guys in my space. I mean, like there
yeah.
are some companies doing like 6 mil ARR, 10, 12 mil ARR, whatever. And it's very funny because it's so sad how little of them have a pre-call process. Only one out of the six I funnel hacked for the top six in the space or top five, only one of them had some sort of pre-call. And that's because he's like also tapped into the info space. So B2B is drastically behind in terms of like actual call process. Like, do they have an intro call, discovery call, closing call with no triage, no pre-call, nothing? And it's the reason they grow so slowly, I think. And I always say this, but dude, if there's like a fucking sales manager or sales coach that really wants to make a fuck ton of money, go into the B2B market and just upsell sales processes because no one is doing it right now. Getting a call. No one is doing it. Uh, and it's like the reason that a lot of them are just not performing nearly the way that they should be.
I'm
And,
thinking about giving my current client one. Obviously to build a case study. You think that would be a good option?
well,
Free value or
what industry are they?
SaaS? My SaaS client.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about how sales processes work in SaaS. The best thing to do with that would just be to consult someone in the software industry or just funnel hack a bunch of top software companies. And if they're sending pre-call assets, then yeah. And like that doesn't like if they're not sending them, it doesn't mean that they won't work. It's just like it's a different game when you're serving enterprise clients for like a software company, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only caveat. Like that's why I really like helping like working with agencies, even though it's a saturated model, is because I know I can upsell them a sales process like easily. Like I can charge
Bro,
them a
it's
couple
so
thousand
important.
dollars to script all their pre-call stuff, their triage stuff, everything, and build out their page like so easily. I can upsell that, which is why I like working with agencies because there's so much to upsell. Then I know what
Mm-hmm.
systems to upsell them. Again, like this just comes down to being in your niche and knowing your niche. Like once you do this for one guy in the software industry, you can do it for the rest. But like I know the agency niche in and out, so like I can upsell them everything they need. I can stretch the LTV for a client on like just like actual cash, like multiple five figures, like easily because I know what they would need. Like, okay, when they're scaling, you're gonna need this system, then you're gonna need this, then you're gonna need that, then you're gonna need that at this stage. I know the stages, right? So like I can upsell all of that. I can't say the same for software because I just don't know. I don't know if like maybe a pre-call would perform terrible. I can't imagine it doing so, but like it's a different ICP that they're targeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. So I would just funnel hack some guys. I would see if anyone's doing it, and if you can find someone that's doing it, like just analyze what they're currently doing, their numbers, are they doing good, is it performing well, all of that good stuff. And I'm sure there's someone you can find to be willing to spend 15 minutes on a call with you, even your own client, and be like, do you think this would work for your industry?
I already helped him implement some pre. Like I was telling him, you should implement the pre-call asset. He wasn't fully invested, so he got someone to film it, script it out, etc. I don't think he
Yeah,
ever ended up going through with it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead. Offer. I will literally pay an editor, to actually edit their video, make it all
yeah,
look all good, build out the page for them. I mean, because if you think about it, if I get this one case study, right, showing how I increase their revenue, their show rate, 50 booked calls in a month, I mean, that says a lot for me, because
100%.
I'm building their business for them. But I also wanted to touch on something else. One thing that I realized lately in the last month or two is that I feel like in terms of running a business, I've been trying to think about what's the right thing to do using Claude. Sometimes it says this is right, that's right, going back and forth, trying to figure out what's right. But then I realized it's not really about what's right. Like if you really use your brain for a second and you think about like, will this work? Right? Not what's right, not what do people do, not does this SaaS do that? Do SaaS companies send pre-call assets? I feel like you'll just be way more successful if you actually think for a second. And I think that was my weak point for like the last couple months. And I started implementing new things, being more creative. For example, like I said, the personalized cold email based in the face. And I think I've just been seeing way more success. I don't know what you think about that, like just being more
Yeah,
creative.
I agree. I actually had a talk with the guys in the program about this the other day. I told them like in the call, I'm not going to name drop who it was, but like I woke up to text from him saying, "Hey, what do I respond to my client? He's saying this," and he's like, "Never mind. Claude told me what to say. I said this." I'm like, "Dude, like you can't be doing that. Like if you're at the stage where like you have to use Claude to talk to another human, like you're fucked.
Yeah,
Like
that's pretty fucked.
you can't get to that stage." Like I tell them like, please, same thing. I'm like, guys, if you're going to do anything, please write what you would do first. Now, I understand if you're at the stage where like you're working 16-hour days and you do not have time to commit the mental capacity to scripting something out what you would think first. However, there is no reality where you should be asking Claude what to say to your client. There's no reality where you should be using Claude to text me or AI to text me. Like that's just not a reality that should exist. And that's where people are going to get into serious trouble. Like that is a disaster waiting to happen because your brain is a muscle. It will literally degrade if you stop using it. And it will,
100%.
it will get stronger. Your neurons will get stronger. Your neural connections will grow and get stronger if you use it. But like, dude, like I found when I was using AI a lot, it took me longer to think of words. It took me longer to process stuff. Like, and I was like, this is a problem. And I instantly cut it out. And I'm like, I will sit here and think for myself. Especially, this is why I really like sales calls because they force you to do that, so that you literally can't let your brain degrade because you're constantly using your brain multiple times a week in an extensive task where it's like, okay, I need to know what to say, I need to analyze this, I need an objection to handle this. Like you need to, and like it's just so many guys are just using it for shit that is so like minute. Like you can't use it to text people, please.
Bro, you know what's so funny about this? I had the same issue. I think everyone goes through this at one point in their life. Bro, I was using ChatGPT. This is back when ChatGPT was the wave, before
Yeah.
Claude. I was using ChatGPT to literally outsource my thinking, and it came to
Yep.
it. Bro, it was so bad. It was so bad. I tried to play chess one time on my phone. I'm like, I want to go play chess. I used to play chess. It was fun. I'm like, let's get it back. I download it back, open the app. You're looking. I start a game. I'm like at the lowest elo. I'm like 200, whatever, 300, whatever it is, the level, the points, whatever it is. I start playing. And I'm like, this guy makes a move. Okay, I do my opening move. I'm like, yo, why can I not think like my brain was so fried. I could not think,
Yep.
what do I do next? And I think that comes back to something. I feel like your whole life is like everything leaks over into the next thing. For example, if you're not disciplined, you're going to perform a little bit worse on sales calls. Or, if you're not disciplined, you're going to do worse with women or this and that. And you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Bro, and I feel like AI is also something that takes away a lot from your life if you use it in the way that we were just speaking about.
100%. And I think like guys think they're going to be at an advantage if they use it 24/7, but I actually think those guys will lose in the future because it doesn't allow you to, number one, think of new ideas and become creative. And that's where you typically grow. Like even just having this conversation, like I'm sure there's things you're going to take away and go implement immediately. Same thing with me when I was talking about like that, that little scraper for like 250 people for natural lead
Yeah.
list. The second thing is like, yeah, people just outsource their thinking in general, which is very dangerous. Like guys try doing it to me that like obviously I'm mentoring or if I'm consulting and I'm like, listen, like this is a limited time interaction. Like, sure, if you want to continue, we can continue, but like I'm not here forever holding your hand. Like you need to be able to think on your own. And like if you
Hmm.
can't think on your own and problem solve them on your own, like there's going to be a problem. Like I tell guys all the time, like be resourceful. Like that's the biggest indicator of success. Like I know instantly how successful someone will be in the program is if they join and they're fucking texting me 15 times a day about the little minute shit that you can Claude or put into ChatGPT and get an answer in 30 seconds. But instead you're going to wait an hour for me to answer or 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Maybe I'm at the gym. Maybe I don't answer for an hour and a half. Maybe I'm in the sauna, right? So like stuff that you could ChatGPT or even you can think and problem solve on your own. Like they just outsource to me and I'm like, dude, like you will never make it like that. Like you need to be able to problem solve on your own. It's like one of the biggest skills in business is being able to problem solve.
Hmm.
Again, both of those things will degrade your brain and there will be less opportunity for growth because you're not thinking, which means you're not coming up with new ideas, which means you're not problem solving, which is I filmed a video yesterday. It was like a short form 15-second video. Dude, I was like 45 minutes up into the mountains. I was in Wasatch National Forest. I was like, boys, get out and I haven't posted yet. I'm like, boys, get out in nature. Like if you like, let's say you have sales calls all day, onboarding calls. when you have a break, get out in nature, and ideas literally flow to you. It resets you. Literally, like there's no cortisol memes
100%.
are funny, but it literally does lower your cortisol.
Go
Like
for a fucking walk. Yeah.
go for a walk, literally. But like when I say go for a walk, don't put headphones in. If you can leave your phone at home without putting yourself in danger, leave your phone. I was in the middle of the mountains, which is actually was pretty dumb. My phone was on 2%. It was on satellite mode. I was in a black tank top. That when I got to the elevation I was at, it was like 36 degrees. There's snow on the ground. I had no water. I haven't seen anyone for miles. I've never been on this trail before. No bear spray. But
You're by
don't.
yourself?
Yeah, dude. I was like, I needed to go on a walk. Like I just needed a mental reset. And I just like I'd never been on this trail before. Like I'm not from Utah. There's a canyon right here. It's called the Wasatch National Forest. Super beautiful. I literally just parked and started walking. And then it was like Donut Falls. I'm like, cool. Let me go up to Donut Falls. At some point, I had to turn around because it was getting way too cold, and like my phone was dead. The sun was setting, so I turned around. But that's besides the point. Like you shouldn't have your phone on. If you can leave it home, leave it home. You shouldn't have headphones. Just like just indulge in nature a little bit. Like just
100% I agree.
chill in nature, reset, and that's where thoughts flow to you. Like I don't think people realize how overstimulated they are at all times, where thoughts do not flow to them the way that thoughts should flow to you as a natural human being. Like people are always stimulated in some way. And like it could be as little as cars driving by constantly, planes flying over, people talking to you, you being on your computer. You studying is stimulating to an effect. Like you're not thinking, you're processing what you're going through. So like people do not give themselves like if one people could take one thing away from this, like spend 30 minutes a day on a walk with no stimulation by yourself with like no humans. I mean like even with a friend's fine, but like just go chill. Like dude, like I literally just go like there's a reservoir over here since I've been here. It's like 20-minute drive, super beautiful. You don't hear any cars. I literally go there and I just sit like this for like 30 minutes and I don't think about. And like the thing is, it's very funny because the first 20 minutes, you'll have crazy amounts of thoughts. You'll be thinking. Then once you reach like minute 25, 30, there's nothing left to think about and your brain just goes blank and you just feel like a sense of like relaxation. For some people, it might take an hour.
Bliss. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's great.
it's like for some people, it might take an hour for all those thoughts to process because you haven't sat down and processed stuff in so long because you're always listening to music, podcasts, driving, talking, listening, learning, whatever. That like when you actually sit down and do absolutely nothing for like 45 minutes, like the first 30 minutes you're processing, and then the next 15, like you said, is just bliss. It's just like peace.
And it allows you to be so much sharper throughout the day because you have a clean slate. You know, after you take that work, take that walk, you just sit down and do nothing. You get up, you could do something, you could be 100% at your highest ability because you're on that clean slate, because you don't have any more thoughts or stimulation, or you don't have that TikTok scrolling in your subconscious thinking about, the McDonald's new fucking burger meal, whatever it is,
Listen, if you're watching this and you want to start or scale your agency and you don't know how or what to sell, that's exactly what I helped Leon with. I gave him the exact system, and within 24 hours of launch, he made $8,000. And here's the thing, Leon is not special, he just put in the work. So if you don't want to be stuck in the same place again for another year, click the link in the description, apply, we'll see if you're a good fit, and if you are, I'll see you on the inside. Now let's get back to the podcast. Dude, it's also just like a dopamine reset.
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't think people realize this. And like I hope someone takes this away from this video. How you're meant to be in nature. So when you're not, there's like biologically something wrong at all times. Like nature is literally healing. Like I know, for example, I don't know if anyone watches Outdoor Boys, but he talked about how he couldn't have kids. Like his wife wasn't getting pregnant, and they moved into the mountains, and like within a month, his wife got pregnant. Like it's good. That's not by chance. Like they were trying for years, and then like also like depression. Like I don't want to go into like a whole spiel, but like I think a lot of people can solve their depression by eating healthy and just getting out in nature every single day. That's why I literally want to move here. I want my house to be in the mountains, but I want to be close to the city because I want to be able to get up every day, especially during the summer. And the first thing I do is go on a walk barefoot through like because that's the best way to start the day, getting sun on you in like the forest, birds chirping. Like I don't think people realize what that does for them. And like especially if you're someone who grew up in a city and never had that, go experience that, and I don't think you'll be able to live without it ever again. Like it is just like such a cheat code. It's so underrated. Like, and you know this because you're in the program, right? That I have a whole section called the internal ops system, which is just the only one that's non-AI, dedicated to like everything from health, nutrition, sleep, dopamine rewiring, dopamine optimization, how to properly set goals, systemize your life for success. And like you've said this to me, and basically every guy who's ever came through the program, they said like that was the most life-changing module, right?
100%. Every single. I remember Nick. Nick was glazing it in the beginning when he joined.
Yep,
Remember
Nick
that?
literally it changed his life.
Yeah. Yeah,
And the problem is
because it's
that
very important.
it's very important and it's very underlooked. And like a lot of guys meme about like the guru mindset stuff, but like it really is that important. Like everyone jokes about it. And it's funny, sure. But when you actually analyze, look at all the top performers. What do they
Mm-hmm.
do? They're all very, very like mindset heavy. Like they have a bulletproof mindset. Like I'm gonna get it and you're fucking not. And then they're also like they eat healthy, most of them. Of course, there's an exception, but 99% eat very healthy. They take health very seriously. They live amongst nature, a lot of them, not all of them. But there's a reason it is a trend among high performers. And I don't think people realize that. They think the mindset stuff's a joke. And like listen, like I think before mindset, I think health is much more important because that builds the foundation, which gives you energy and vitality to go want to win the day and
Yeah,
urge to win the
100%.
day. So if like one thing again people could fix, like eat whole foods, get out in the sun, like sleep in a completely dark room, not an ounce of light. It can ruin your deep sleep. It should be quiet while you're sleeping. Like even just getting like superhuman sleep will change your life. Like you see the memes all the time. It's like me when I actually get good sleep and I feel like how I'm supposed to feel. You see those memes and ever?
Yeah. I do see those.
So true. It's like when you actually get quality sleep, which people aren't used to, they're getting blue light before, which even I do. Blue light
Mm-hmm.
before they go to bed, stimulation, the room's not completely dark, they leave the TV on, they leave the lights on, there's people talking, there's noise. When you eliminate all that for just one night and you wake up the next day, you're gonna be like, holy, do I feel like I can literally like rip a building down with my bare hands. Like it's insane. And most people are operating at like 10, 20% without even knowing it. And
And
that's
it's
why
so true.
that's why I'm
So
so huge on nature because like even in a city you'll never be able to get that 100% sleep. You'll never feel good. You're always trying to buy EMFs or electrical fields, whatever it is. It's such an underlooked part of entrepreneurship. Like entrepreneurship, a lot of guys they know about it, they brush it off, they forget about it, and you can basically tie back every single, I guess, like failure, so to speak, to letting that stuff slip. Most likely. Now I do know some guys who could run on Red Bull and Skittles and still win,
hmm
but you
Yeah,
know.
I think I know who you're talking about. 5 Red
Well,
Bulls a day.
who? No, I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about.
Your growth app.
Oh yeah, he does do that. No, he does eat slop, but he still performs well. But yeah, but I also think even those guys. I think imagine if those guys were on a good diet, like they'd really be unstoppable. I am someone who needs a good diet. I can't function off junk food. I have been eating In and Out here a lot, admittedly, but In and Out's like a healthier fast food.
What's the new thing? You know what I'm talking about? The guy, he's like Big John. You know what I'm talking about?
Someone told me about that. My closer told me about that actually. I was hanging out with him when I was in San Diego because he lives there, and he told me about that Big John Golf's guy.
Yeah, no. Fuck. I'm not proud of it, but I'm man enough to say it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those are funny.
That, by the way, you
That's
said.
another thing, bro. Social media. It's just like everyone. Like I say this. If you do not post on social media as a content creator, delete the app. Do not have it. There's no reason to have it. You're only systemizing your life to fail by having it there, and you're going to mindlessly, unconsciously scroll and go to the app every single day. Your phone should be on grayscale. Dude, there's so many things. What were you
Yeah,
about to say?
bro. I was gonna say. I remember you told me, or you posted on a video actually. You said you had 3 offers. So I know there's an AI automation offer. I know there's or not AI lead gen info offer. There's a
Mhm.
also a service offer. What's the third one?
We just do consulting for agencies.
Oh
So
wow,
like
I
same,
did not
same
know that.
thing. Like we'll basically license our system. Yeah, I don't even talk about that a lot because it's not like something that we push. It's just kind of like we typically like that comes from our clients. Like we'll run the system for them, but then we'll also consult for them on like the whole side because like at the end of the day, like between running, obviously I have the mentorship. I have my actual service, which is like Neuralize AI. And then it's called Neuralize at this point. And then we also have consulting, which is also falls under Neuralize AI. It's not really its own company, but it's its own offer. And essentially that comes from a lot of like agency clients where like we're running the systems for them, then they run into problems and we just kind of come in as like a consulting partner. And then we'll also license systems to them for like a price, obviously.
Uh huh. And did you hear about the new gym in our hometown?
No, which one?
Alpha Gym.
Oh, yes. Dre told me about this. Dre was originally going to go to it, I think.
Yeah, go to it. It's sick.
Lambo outside or something like crazy.
Inside, bro. Inside. It's
I,
crazy.
I I'll avoid those gyms at all costs, bro. Like, listen, I don't want to toot my own horn. I think I'm pretty jacked, pretty strong, right? Um, I can't go to those gyms, and even though some people will say I probably fit that gym bro thing, I can't be surrounded by gym bros. They're the brokest people. like they that live in the gym all day. Then on top of that, like the recording really gets on my nerves. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, I was thinking the same thing. I'm in the gym. There's more people recording themselves and actually working out. I
Oh,
see
you
this
went to
guy.
it?
Yeah, bro, I go there now.
Open?
It's great. Yeah, the
Oh, you got to send me a
machines,
video. I got to
the
see what it looks like.
machines. We'll hit a workout one day. We'll hit a push day.
Yeah,
Bro, the
yeah, dude, I
machines.
gotta show me what it looks like.
Yeah, the machines are elite. The sauna's not so hot, right? It's like probably like 100 degrees. I don't even know. Feels like my car on a summer day is probably hotter. But
Yes.
yeah, no, I got a ringworm from there. I don't know if you've ever gotten ringworm before, but it's
Yeah,
not
dude.
fun.
I do combat sports. I've
Yeah,
gotten ring.
yeah, yeah,
I have it right now. I don't know if you can see.
yeah. Bro,
It's right
it's
here. That patch. It's on my shoulder. It's basically dead now. But if you really look, I don't know if this is like weird. You see like the little like
yeah, yeah, yeah. I spray
yeah.
it every day, bro. It's the
I
worst.
know. But yeah, it's not. You got to use Lamisil.
I got the spray right over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but dude,
great.
like probably smells like Trend in there. And like, dude, like I'll say the biggest one of the biggest investments I made is just literally going to Lifetime because the quality. I've met so many good people there that are like running businesses, entrepreneurs. It's a much more high quality, high class people, which is what I like to be surrounded by. I hate ghetto people. Can't stand them. That's why I like Utah. There's not a lot of ghetto people. Um, just like I grew up. I was born in New York. I grew up around ghetto, and I just don't like it. That's why I like personally Lifetime because it's high barrier to entry. It's $300 a month for a gym, but you had to send me. It was so funny.
Nothing else.
You got to send me some videos of that thing.
Yeah,
Is
I
there
got
anything you
you.
want to talk about AI related?
Yeah, yeah. I actually did want to ask you something. So, give me like your scaling roadmap. Like, at what points do you hire a back end guy? At what point do you hire a closer, setter, etc.? Because I
Yeah,
feel like at this point, like I know exactly what I need to do, which is I don't really have the time right now because I'm in school, which is something we didn't even talk about. Um, to actually like I know for a fact that once I'm out of school I'm gonna easily scale this. I want clarity on when do I hire people for certain things because I know that there are certain things that I could automate, for example, writing the copy and generating
yeah,
the leads, building the list for my clients. But there are some things that I can't, which is like hiring a closer or a setter or whatever it is, right? So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
yeah. So I think in general it's very subjective. It comes down to the person. Reason being is I do think, especially with AI now, and I know guys personally have scaled to six figures a month by themselves. I do think it's very possible. However, I think it just depends on the person. So your situation, it just depends on school's over, no?
Nah, we
Are
got
you a senior? You're a senior, right?
I'm a
In high
senior.
school? When
Yeah.
does school end?
May 1st.
Oh, so you're basically done. Are you going to college or no?
Of course not, bro. We spoke about this.
So you're good. So I
Yeah.
genuinely think you have the work capacity to scale to at least like 50 to 75 a month by yourself. It also depends on what route are you going to go down. If you want to build a lean team of just
Mm-hmm.
guys who essentially like you have like 5 to 10 portfolio clients who give you rev, like let's say you make 10K per month from each client, then you're not going to need a closer because you're not going to be bringing in a ton of new deals a month. Like you're just trying to bring in maybe like one or two dogs a month who you can do it for. Then as for like, dude, a lot of the back end stuff, the system's basically automated, right? You're
Yeah.
not replying to people. Instant bot is. The email system's automated. It takes 7 minutes to fully set everything up and send it out. So like, what did you think that you needed to be automated?
So in the beginning, I was thinking fulfillment. Now I'm getting a little bit more clarity on like doing it for my clients. Like I'm getting a little bit more clarity on how I could actually put this automation in place and automate that fulfillment work, right? Because I'm understanding how to just write copy over and over and over again. And I'm kind of creating this mental framework in my head that I'm thinking that I could apply to every client in the future. But I feel like there are some intricacies for every client. For example, like what if
Let me
one
just
has risk
interject.
reversal?
Let me
Yeah.
interject real quick. This is why I think it's very important to niche down so you build data on a certain industry so you know
Mm-hmm.
what works for them and what doesn't. And then also, so like for us, this doesn't apply because fulfillment's very scalable, but we were just talking about. Very easy to scale fulfillment for this offer. So typically, I would say like follow the 3S formula. Learn this from Cole Gordon. Credit to him. Specific person, specific way, specific solution. So it's a conveyor belt for fulfillment, so it never becomes the bottleneck later on. However, for us, we know that's not really the case for what we do. There's really no fulfillment bottleneck. It's super easy to fulfill. However, what does apply is having data in each industry, so then we know what works. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Just not every software is the same offer and the same
Yeah.
ICP. And if I niche down to a specific software, my TAM is only so big. How many emails could I be sending a day before I wipe a TAM? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like sometimes uh, they might have a very weak offer, so we need to do something to make their offer better. For example, this one client, he basically sells a learning management system. It's basically where manufacturing companies, you know, even SaaS companies store their courses for their actual for their employees, and their employees take the courses on there,
Yep.
and it tracks their progress, whatever it is. For example, if they need to get HIPAA certified because they're in a healthcare organization, it tracks this. It tracks their training so that when they do get audited by OSHA or HIPAA, whatever it is, the organization that they're getting audited by could see that they actually have a history of tracking their their training and seeing that they actually went through the training. So we have to come up with a lead magnet, something that's different, something that actually conveys value to the person that we're targeting. So we came up with this offer basically as two companies. One generates courses for with AI, right? Another one stores the courses, which is what we're doing the outreach for. So we're using basically a free course as a lead magnet based on their specific industry and the certification in order to get them on a call, then or not upsell them, just sell them
Yeah.
on the LMS. So like it's
Yeah. It's
different
called
for
like
every prospect.
yeah, and outreach. It's called like a bait and switch.
Yeah, yeah, kind of, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why it's hard to automate fulfillment when you have those things. So I guess I
Yep.
could automate fulfillment. I just have to take a lot of time to refine my system and basically make it so we're looking for those.
Well, here's
Um,
the thing too. Let me interject and let me
there you
interject.
go.
So, like, even for our copy, like, sure, it's automated, but like, that's not like, it's not just like final and done. Like, it just gives us a really strong base, like a
Hmm.
really strong base to start with. So I'm not sitting there like mentally, like, okay, let me plan out what will work. And like, obviously, like, this is why the onboarding doc will literally take my client 45 minutes to an hour to fill out. Like, we ask everything. Is there a risk reversal we can throw in? If so, give extensive detail. Is there a guarantee we could throw in? If so, give extensive detail. Is there a free trial we could throw in to add to the risk reversal? If so, throw it in. And like they fill out everything. Their ICP should be like 5 paragraphs. Like we should know everything. So instead of like first, obviously I'll read through that, but then the AI just takes all of that and it takes any existing data for that industry we have, and then it takes our SOPs and it writes a really good base. Then I'll go in and I'll tweak it myself based off as I'm reading through the onboarding doc. So obviously that's something you could do as well. Like if that makes sense. So like it's not like I don't want you to think or anyone watching it's a one size fits all. Like it's just like, hey, we just we just have AI do it and it's done. Like it's not the case, you know?
100%. And what I realized though is that every single client I sign, my fulfillment gets quicker and quicker, and I'm understanding more and more how to actually do this. So eventually, it's going to take me like what 2 hours to actually put together a list and write copy on the client.
Yep.
Because I collect so much data, I create Claude projects, kind of like what you're doing, just not really on my own software,
Yep.
to where I could actually build a reply agent, build a campaign, build everything based on all the data I have. So eventually, yeah, I do want to automate it. But I was just wondering. So I guess I could scale this all on my own as a one man team.
I think you can because you're gonna be like it comes down like again it's subjective, so it comes down to like appetite for like number one how much you want to be working, and then just number two living your own life, I guess. Like for example, like I tell the guys like I could have 85-90% profit margins if I did everything on my own. I personally like well not anymore running through different offers, but like if I was just running my agency, say right,
Hmm.
but I don't want to be working 18 hours a day. I like nature. I have a motorcycle. I like riding that. I like doing things, I like seeing new places. That's not really possible working 18 hours a day. But the flip side of that as well is like look at all the top performers. Do they enjoy their lives? Does Cole Gordon, do a fuck ton of traveling? Does Alex Hormozy? You know, not
You saw
really.
you saw what Alex Ramosi just said.
What do you say?
He said this year is the first year. I'm assuming
Going
it's
on
because of the
vacation,
Tony
right?
Robbins. No, no. Not only did he go on vacation, his number one goal is not making more money. It's enjoying his life, winning at life rather than winning at business.
Yes.
Um,
I think there's
and
a
I think
fine.
what were you saying?
No, I think there's a fine line. But I don't know if I know where that is yet. Like I would say like that's one thing where I'm not too certain I know where it is yet because like Dude, it's like there's two sides to it, right? It's like, dude, we're only here for a limited amount of time. Like,
Hmm.
money is something we're gonna leave behind. That's not gonna come with us. So like, live your fucking life, right? And then there's also like, all right, I want to just like, I'm very competitive. Like, I want to be the best in the outreach field. Like, I don't want there to be a lead generation company or person who's more knowledgeable and better than me. And I think I'm well on the path to do that with all the knowledge I have in terms of like full stack, like sales, operations, actual fulfillment, like systems, everything. I truly believe like I'm on the path to do so. But like, I know there's a killer out there who's working, if not harder than me. But it's because I like to enjoy my life as well. So like, it's finding that fine line and the appetite for it. Now, I think at your age, I think if I can go back, I would just work all day at your age at 18 because the reason being is because there's not much going on anyway besides just like degen shit that literally
Exactly.
that won't matter. But like now that I'm 21, like I gotta like I don't want to be like the dude that gets married at 30 or like have kids at 30 and the info guy. Like I want to have kids like 26, 28-ish. Um, all of that good stuff. So it just comes down to drawing that fine line, which I don't think I know where it is yet. That's why I want to live in nature. It's because like I love nature, so I want to just be able to walk outside instead of driving 30 minutes to it or having to go travel. Like in New Jersey, I have to come travel here if I want to be out in nature. I want to be there. That's what I enjoy. Like I'm totally content if that's what I do, and I travel once a month for a week. It's just drawing that fine line, I think. But like for you, I think it should just be head down the next year, next 2 years.
100%.
And
I
I think
couldn't
you
agree more.
do so. I think you have the work ethic. I've seen what you've done in a short time. Like you're now at like damn near like I think you're at like 20K a month-ish, depending on like obviously the month, like with like
Yeah.
you know with like success based, all that sort of stuff. So like I genuinely think like within the next year, there's no reason you're not at six figures a month, like without a doubt, like 100%. And I think you could do it on your own. But then if you ever get to the point where you can, it's not a problem. We just hire, and like I'll obviously help you with that.
Hmm.
And I think like the biggest thing for you would be a back end guy. I think you're getting really good at sales. Like you've been at it for a while now, and I think like the founder and CEO will always close stronger than a sales guy unless they just completely suck at sales, the founder and CEO. But you don't. So you'll always close stronger as a CEO. I think if anything, you'd bring on a copywriter or a back end guy, like someone who's actually familiar with copywriting for cold email offers that actually convert, or like some type of back end ops guy. But like with that being said, like dude, like the game has changed. If AI wasn't here, I would say you should definitely start bringing someone on for back end. But the game is so different with AI. Like so that's why I'm so excited this next month to dive into like automation building. Like that's my learning. That's my learning like focus for the next month is just like really honing in on systems. The past month has been like perfecting my own software, working on that LinkedIn system, building the new email system, and then like I also like dove deep into a new sales program. I won't drop a who, but like just to build onto it. I'll tell you obviously off, but just to build onto what I already know from someone who like is like strictly damn near B2B. Um, just to get that second verse, right? And I'm actually like I actually also just purchased just because it's low ticket, and I was like, fuck it, I just joined Matt Ryder's program because I think he's really good. I think he's really valuable. So I'm gonna go through that as well.
I
Time
thought
being,
verse two was Matt Ryder, the one you said. That's another one?
now it's a different one. I'll tell you off the
Uh,
call. But he doesn't sell a program anymore actually. But yeah, I'll tell you off. But that's this next focus is just like trying to automate and cut costs as much as possible with being efficient and not like sacrificing quality.
what do you think is like a bottleneck that I don't realize right now? Because right now I have the mindset. I'm like, I
Mhm.
really genuinely think like I could probably hit 50K a month in a couple of months.
I agree.
Am I being delusional, or do you think maybe I'm not being delusional? There's just some roadblocks that I don't see right now because I'm not like that close to 50K a month. Like, what would you say
Oh,
is in
no,
between me and 50K a month? Is it just volume?
I think it's just volume. I think it's just taking on new clients. But I think obviously like priority is always delivering for the current clients. Like you want to be sticky. You obviously like, you don't want to be that agency with 40% churn, right? That
Yeah,
obviously sucks. But you just focus on delivering for your clients. Like how much time do you say you have? Like once school's out, how much free time are you gonna have outside of client fulfillment daily?
bro, 24/7.
So like how much are you spending on client fulfillment a week?
Right now, it's very hard to quantify that because it's very sporadic. Because I
Yeah,
have
of course.
school.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
but just take a guess once you're out of school, how much a week you'll be spending on client fulfillment? Maybe a couple hours max.
yeah, probably.
Which is what I always talk about. That's what's so good about cold email. The fulfillment's so quick.
Yeah,
Uh, and like once you get something working, it kind of just works. With that being said, you have infinite time to scale and build out systems. But like again, like you should focus on like building systems that support. but like it shouldn't be a main priority until it's actually needed. But you also want systems that support. So when you get there, it's not like, okay, this next week's a disaster because I can't support this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for you, genuinely just focusing on getting more clients on is like the biggest needle mover currently. And like obviously
100%.
within that you identify bottlenecks. So this is why tracking is important. And in the beginning, I always say like until you're doing 30, 40K a month, you don't really need a CRM. You could operate out of a spreadsheet. You should know like, okay, how many am I booking? Out of how many am I booking? How many am I closing? What's the show rate? What's the close rate? So like if you look at that and you're like, oh shoot, my show rate's like 50%. Like 70% is like really good. That's where it should be. Let me focus on getting that up. Or if you're like my close rate's like 20%. Okay, let me focus on getting this up to 30 to 40%. Maybe your close rate's 30%. You're like, all right, well, what's going to get me to 40, 50%? I'm like, all right, let's add in a pre-pitch. Let's start pre-pitching because that can get you to 40 to 50%. But then also if you pre-pitch bad, it can get you to 20 to 10. So like just intricacies like that where it's like, okay, like the only way you're going to identify that is with stats at the end of the day. Like I could tell you what I think, but the only thing that's going to give concrete proof of what you need to get to the next level is going to be stats. And if you can't identify a bottleneck without seeing that. Like for us, I can see if our booking rate out of interested leads is like 10%, like it's a major fucking problem, right? So let's focus on fixing that. Okay, let's change something in the response bot. Let's change this, let's change that. You have to have these stats so you can identify these bottlenecks and just attack them without guessing. Because if you guess, then you could actually make something good bad.
No, 100%. I agree. I
Does
get
that
exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because over the last couple of months, I had a Calendly link being sent out. My reply or my booking rate was way lower than before. Changed over the reply to suggest 2 times, like I was doing
Yep.
manually before I had the reply agent, and then collect the phone number after they give me the time they want. That was significantly better than someone just booking in through a calendar link.
100%. I always say that you split test them. The only 2 ways people should be booking in is like either like, hey, awesome, I have Tuesday at 3 p.m. or alternatively I have Friday at 1 p.m. Like should be within 48 hours max. And again, like maybe people are no showing. Okay, maybe I'm booking 5 days out. Well, I should only book 2 days out, right? Listen, if you're watching this and you want to start or scale your agency and you don't know how or what to sell, that's exactly what I helped Leon with. I gave him the exact system and within 24 hours of launch, he made $8,000. And here's the thing, Leon is not special, he just put in the work. So if you don't want to be stuck in the same place again for another year, click the link in the description, apply, we'll see if you're a good fit. And if you are, I'll see you on the inside. Now let's get back to the podcast. Just some like a million different things it could be, but you can't identify that without seeing it. But yeah, there's only 2 ways people should be booking in, either that or sending a Calendly link. But like typically when you split test, option A typically outcompetes it just slightly, which you can also get the bot to set up. And if like instantly reply bot's not doing a good job at that, just make your own and like N8N.
Yeah, by the way, Daniel did that, and he said it was great.
Yeah, I still use instantly. I think it's good enough, but I think if I really want like taking it to the next level, I do think that's the move.
Honestly, I might look into that. I'm at the point where all my time is just being spent on fulfillment and not enough is being spent on my business.
Yeah.
Because like I have to prioritize my clients obviously because I have them on board. Like I'm not going to prioritize my own business and neglect fulfillment. So I have such limited time. I'm spending that all on fulfillment right now. So it's hard to actually work on my own business. Now I just finished all my client fulfillment for like the next week or next couple of days so I could focus on my own. So
Yep.
I'm excited to, build out my own clay table or whatever it is. Build out my, what was it that you were telling me about? Oh yeah, copywriting system for my
Yep.
future clients that I
Yeah,
bring on.
you just need a very strict SOP with like each one has at least like 10 examples of what we basically are doing, like and what works. And like the problem with AI is it doesn't understand like psychology or anything like that. So you have to actually explain that as well. Like here's why this is here because it operates and does X, Y, Z. Like you have to like make your SOPs super strict. That's the thing with like AI is your SOPs have to be like first off like you info dump obviously and like
Yeah.
a good format. Then you just say to Claude like hey prompt engineer this the correct way to be able to feed to AI. Getting text messages drawing my attention away. So I'm able to feed it to AI and get actual results. So AI will then prompt engineer it for you the way it's supposed to be. That's digestible for AI to give you the output you're looking for. Cool. Yeah. So I mean that's kind of what I think you need to do to identify the bottleneck to be able to scale.
You're
That makes
saying build out all the systems?
Just tracking, especially like tracking, just like tracking the simple shit.
I'm not as good with that as I should be. I know it's very important. I've been
Yeah.
neglecting that a little bit. But yeah,
Very-
no, I definitely see
It's just
that.
important to identify bottlenecks.
100%. And by the way, do you still use Instantly for purchasing domains and pre-warmed accounts or not?
Yeah, only because like everyone that's not is has been having like severe deliverability issues.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I realized.
Hmm.
Um, when I changed over to the other provider, right,
Hmm.
that we were speaking, like that, whatever, um, basically, I realized that I can't send 30 a day, so I send 20 a day from the accounts rather than 30. My deliverability has been way better for me and my clients.
Yep.
Um, and also, domains are cheaper if you buy them on Spaceship, which I don't know if you've looked
Never heard
at,
of
but
it. No.
they're $9 a domain, maybe eight, rather than 15 on Instantly. And then you get the accounts from the other provider. It's like $3 an account. It's like way cheaper. I mean, obviously, there's quality differences, but I don't know. It's been working pretty well for me.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions regarding like AI or sales or anything that you wanted to cover?
Honestly, it was just the scaling roadmap, bro.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for you, like I said, is just get that tracking down and then identify that bottleneck. And once you identify that bottleneck, we could just attack it from there. But we need to know what to attack. Like obviously, I'm not seeing everything you're doing at all times, so it's kind of hard. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, but I think just from what I'm hearing, just doing more volume because the client fulfillment is great. It seems it's just getting more volume in, getting more customers in. Obviously, taking on some rev share deals or some pay per booked calls, and just
Yeah.
being able to track that by getting their Stripe API key, getting access to their CRM, their Fathom recordings from each call, all that good stuff.
You think established companies would give me their Stripe API key? I feel like
Not,
it'd be a little too invasive.
probably not for software companies, but like you need at least CRM access.
Yeah, yeah. So I have that with one of my RevShare clients.
But again, that's like
Um,
just like at the end of the day, I mean, that's just like a trust thing. Like overall in time, I'm sure they would allow it because you're kind of coming in as a growth partner, so you need to be
yeah,
able to track that growth.
100%. And
You need
regarding that
access to
run,
the CRM regardless, so you can see what percent they're closing at, how the quality of the leads coming in, qualified, unqualified, all that good stuff.
and I wanted to ask you something about the LinkedIn method that you're creating.
Hmm.
Is it, are you building it on a software, or is it a software that's built and you're just adding like your prompts and your
It's like
personal?
mixed. It's like both pretty much.
Gotcha.
We use
So
it as like the portal, and then we customize it on our own. If that makes sense.
you use it as a portal, customer. Yeah, okay. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. We'll see more in about
Soon.
2 weeks.
Yeah, soon. It'll be released in like 2 weeks, so it's good
Okay.
timing anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else before we wrap it up here?
No, bro, we have to hit Alpha Gym.
We will. We will. It was a great call. Fucking awesome. Thanks for having you. Thanks for coming on, Leon. You want to say peace out to the people?
Peace out. Thank you for having me, Denny.
And that's exactly how Leon did it. No luck, no shortcuts, just the right system applied consistently. Listen, right now you simply have two options. Option one, you stay exactly where you are, you keep watching the same videos, and you'll realize by the end of the year you haven't moved the needle in any single field. Or option two, you get your hand held by someone who is still making 100K per month by clicking the link in the description and applying. We've helped countless students scale their AI lead gen agencies. At the end of the day, the only ones who win are the ones who take action. So are you somebody who wants to stay still, or are you an action taker? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this podcast style video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.